Hello and welcome to the Razor Wire. I'm Pete and I'm very happy today because I get to shave after a week. I've been collecting some beard growth so that I have enough to properly demonstrate my latest acquisition, which is this razor, my first adjustable razor, the Merkur Futur. If you're pronouncing it like a German, Merkur Futur. Well, I'm doing my best. I'm probably throwing in a bit of French accent in there as well. Made in Solingen, Germany, capital of German cutlery. It is a battle axe. It's a big, heavy razor, 129 grams, twice as much as some of my other razors. Actually, let me go grab one. Here's a razor I've done, a Timor razor. I've done a few videos with, and then the Merkur Futur next to it. It's huge. It's massive. Anyway, I did review this razor in another video in French that you can look at here. And I will get into more of this particular razor later on. I'll say a few words on it, but we're really here to discuss, how do you use one of these? What's a proper way to use it, an adjustable safety razor? And do you really need one? So when you have more beard growth than usual, they can come in handy big time because you can change the aggressiveness of the razor. How does that work? So here, let me bring it back down. Here I'm all the way down to 1. It goes to 6.5. And you can see there's a dial with numbers right there. Now, when you turn that dial, if you look here at the gap between the base plate, the guard plate, and the top plate, when I turn it, it gets bigger, the gap gets bigger, and it exposes the blade more. I don't have the blade in there yet, but the blade will stick out further and there'll be more gap between the top plate and the guard, which allows more whiskers to pass through and more shaving cream to pass through. And because the blade is more exposed, you can get a closer shave, though you also increase the risk of cutting yourself. So it's not as safe in that way as the lowest. In the lowest setting, the blade is retracted more a little. It's only by not even millimeters. It's you don't call them microns, but it's less than a millimeter difference. And the gap is less and the blade protrudes less. And so it's actually harder to cut yourself. It's easier to shave with, but it's not great at the lowest setting for getting through beardage like this. The other thing about an adjustable safety razor, which is really practical, well, two more things. You can fine tune it. So if you shave daily, you can either daily or every other day, you shave frequently and regularly. If you can find a razor that's not adjustable, that's cheaper, that's at a level of aggressiveness that you like, well, great. You use that every day. There's no need to use the adjustable razor. But with this, you have one razor. You don't have to try many. You just have one where you fine tune it to whatever level of adjustment suits you, whatever level of aggressiveness suits you. And you just keep it there. And I know that there are guys that do that. But today, we're going to actually change the setting of the razor between each pass. I'll do 3 passes. We'll start on the first pass at an aggressive level to knock down this tall grass. Actually, that's a good analogy. It's kind of like using, if your yard is overgrown and the grass is 2 feet high, If you go right in with a mower, it often gets clogged up, it gets jammed, bogged down. But if you hit it with the weed whacker first, and then you go over it with a mower, you're able to mow it properly. That's kind of like the principle here. This is hitting it with the weed whacker first, and then we'll go over it with the push mower. Or another analogy would be sanding. If you're sanding a rough surface, you don't start with the finest grain. If you do that, you'll never get it down to where you want it. The rough surface. You start with a larger grain sandpaper, then go down to a medium grain, and then to a fine grain at the end. And that's what we're going to do here. So having it the higher level of adjustment is getting the rough surface first, then we're going to go down a little bit, go another pass, and then go down all the way where the razor is at its gentlest setting to do a nice finish and to get that, the baby bottom shave. So with no further ado, well, there's a little bit more ado. I'll be using a Timor razor right here, also from Solingen, Germany. I'll be going classic with Prorazzo green, eucalyptus, and menthol. I'll finish up with the matching aftershave, alcohol-based aftershave from Prorazzo, and my Mühle pure badger hair brush is finished soaking. So now I'm just going to, and I'll also, my coffee bowl as usual. So I'm just gonna get the shaving cream ready, which is one of my favorite parts. Love making shaving cream. Making it, I'm lathering it. That's plenty. I'm getting carried away. That is way more than I need. But it's good to have a lot today because we're going to be doing 3 good passes. Okay, with the Merkur, very easy to take the top cap off. You pop it on one end, pop it on the other, cap comes off. That's what it looks like on the inside. So now, take my Timor blade. Right there on top. And now you just press it down. I love that. That's really cool. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go on, so now we're on 1. Okay, I'm going to put it up to 4.5 because I'm just not that brave. And I'm still getting used to the razor. So there it is on 4.5. And let's wet it. I'm going to go slower than usual. Man, this I say this in the video I did in French on this, but this is a heavy razor. I could, You know, it's great to have an instrument that you can shave with and if you want to frame a house. But it doesn't slip. You know, it's not slipping. Here we go. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to start shaving with my glasses on soon because I can't see what's going on. I don't like it. Look at all that. Look at that. I don't know if you can see the stubble in there. Look at all that cream. Fantastic. It cuts right through like the weed whacker. Knocks it down, no problem. And another thing about this razor is that it resonates. It makes it resonates with the shave. You can hear the shave through the razor. In French, you would say that it's singing. C'est chantant. I'm not yet super confident with the angles I'm taking. I may have just overdone it. This is only my second shave with this razor, and I love it. It's great. I can totally recommend it. Great razor. I love the fact that it's heavy. It's very manly in that respect. I think the design is handsome. I wouldn't call it elegant, but it's you know it's a battle axe, and it's great. Manly razor. It's not subtle. Okay, so I have knocked down. Gosh, that's great. Now I'm not done though. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to wet my well before I wet my face because I want it to stay. No, let's put on the shaving cream first. Then we'll change. We'll change the blade. Not the blade. We'll adjust the setting. Proazzo is so nice. I mentioned it in other videos, but it reminds me of one of my grandpas. I think he may have used a similar aftershave with menthol in it. I want it to go on a little bit thicker. Okay, so now we're on 4. Okay, and so I'm gonna 4.5. I'm gonna put my hands on the side, and I know I need to look at it this side, and I'm gonna bring it down to, let's do 2.5. Let's do 2.5. So now it's on 2.5, and let it, and we're gonna go against the grain. No. Yes. No problem. Ooh. I just suck some shaving cream up in my nose. My eyes are starting to water. I might sneeze. Woo. Okay. All right. Already, that's fine. I could stop there, but I'm enjoying this so much. Still have shaving cream left, and we're going to go the full demonstration. I'm going to wet my face one more time, put on lather one more time, and bring it on down to 1 on the aggressiveness level. Shaving's so cool. You know, this is a real pleasure. And I'm assuming if you're watching that you find it a pleasure as well, or you're considering traditional shaving with a safety razor, blaireau, badger hair brush. Well, that it's badger hair is not necessary, but I mean, using a brush, a shaving brush, and aftershave. Tell you what, it's a really cool hobby. And you may have seen in some other videos, I get I get kind of deep into things that it evokes for me. What shaving evokes regarding thoughts of earlier generations, even thoughts on the future. And thoughts about God. All right, now, here we go. We're at 2.5, and I'm going to take it down to, put my hands on the side like this. There, it's slipping a little bit. I got to be careful. Bring it down to 1. So now the gap is at its tightest, its narrowest, and the blade is the least exposed. And here we go, last one, last pass. Just wet it one more time so it's nice and wet, and we're going to go across the grain. Now I know that for many, you go across the grain second, but I like going against the grain on the second pass and across the grain last. And that might not be logical, but look at all that shaving cream. Okay, on my neck, I cannot go, if I go across the grain in the middle there, just the way my skin is, it'll rip it up. So I have to go vertical, whether it be down or up. But if I go to the side, I have a big time razor burn afterwards. And the head of this razor, it glides so well. I guess all razors should, but I have the impression that this one glides particularly well. It's so easy. It's a battle axe, but it's a battle axe that's easy to wield. This is only my second time using it. And even the first time, it wasn't hard. I went really easy. It's so smooth. It's great. And the apotheosis, which for me is the aftershave, like a magic potion, everything leading up to this final element of shaving, the shaving session. Woo! Okay, I got closer than last time because I went higher. I did a 4 last time. This time I did a 4.5. But that first contact with the alcohol-based aftershave, that stung, which means that it's quite close. I might have a little bit of razor burn. Oh gosh. I put my glasses on. Make sure I'm not bleeding. Turn the lamp off. Because I know it reflects in my glasses. Oh, that's a great shave. Great shave. I don't see any weepers, as you call them. So yeah, there it is. That's the advantage of, one of the big advantages of an adjustable razor is doing what I just did. You cut down a lot of beard growth and then sand it down, so to speak, use the analogy of sandpaper. Sand it down as you go. Start big grain, medium grain, fine grain. Aggressive, medium aggressiveness, and then what's the word? Gentle, mild. That's it. And the most mild level, the mildest level. So I know that there are a lot of guys that do shaving reviews in the wet shaving community on YouTube, online, who hate this razor. I know David from Ohio Shaves calls it the potato peeler. I know that Greg Tardif doesn't care for it very much. Matt Pisarcik at Razor Emporium doesn't care for it very much. I think, not that I'm a reference, but I've used it twice, and I think it's fantastic. Fantastic razor. I'm going to have to do some curls to get in better shape because this thing is heavy. But that's part of its charm. A big hunk of steel, very manly razor, and wonderful shave. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Today my kids went back to school. It's the 1st of September, and so I've ordered some new products for the fall, and fall themed, and we'll talk about that next time. On the Razor Wire, this has been Pete. Good shaving. Bye-bye.